bet you didn't think I would pop the collar, did you?
Looking good, Bill. Looking good.
Yeah, I'm throwing back to the 80s here. Eileen and I were talking earlier. My collar was starting to curl on me, and I said, I feel like I just need to work the kink out a little bit by popping it a little bit. But here I am. So, hi, everybody. Welcome to Chamber. I guess I should put that down now, right?
I'll go for it.
Go. How's that? All right. We'll see. You'll just see it just gently start to curl as the thing goes on. It's like those old fish. Another 80s reference. It's like those old red fish that you used to hold in your hand. That
then you can do the whole like flip with purpose. Like if it rolls again, just
just flip it with purpose.
Yeah,
I like that. All right, let's get started here. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bill Vitiello. We are here at Chamber Chat Live. I am the Director of Institutional Relationships and marketing from the Victory Bank in Limerick. Those of you who grew up in the 80s would probably know that.
Let's see how many other 80s references we can make.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. All right. So, Eileen, let's just turn it over to you because we have a guest that's waiting and we want to make sure he gets enough time. It can't be all about us.
He'd understand.
So go ahead. He would.
So now I'm glad to be here as always. However, I'm here with some interesting news that I wanted to share with everyone. We have one more week after this week left in season 7. So wanted to let everybody know that we will be taking a hiatus just like we normally do between seasons. So season 7 will end on the 17th. We will resume in the new year with season 8. The reason I wanted to come to everyone today is to share with you that there'll be some changes for season 8 and not just the intro music, not just a new logo. These are pretty significant changes. So unfortunately, fortunately for them, it frees them up to do some additional things and actually do their work, like do their paid jobs. We are going to be saying goodbye to you, Bill, as host, and to Drew Griffin, who everybody knows Drew behind the scenes with Delicious Marketing. He's been doing all of the behind the scenes tech. So they will be with us for the next week, 2 weeks, this week and next for season 7. But we are reaching out today, or I am reaching out today to really get some feedback from our listeners. Where they would like to see us go with Chamber Chat, what suggestions they might have, what type of format would they like to see it in. This is an opportunity for us to tweak it even more than we have been with the start of each new season. So again, significant changes coming. So I guess maybe this is even like a call out for if you had a desire to host Chamber Chat, this is your chance. So, we are sorry to see you go, Bill and Drew. We would not be where we are now without both of you. My call outs today will be to Victory Bank for sure, who has since March of 2019 giving you freedom in your schedule to provide this service to not only the chamber and our organization, but to our members. A huge commitment on your part, and I can't thank Victory enough for their support and enabling you to do that. And a huge thank you as well to Drew. Just again, both of you came to the chamber wanting to help, and we were rolling right along with the podcast, and then all of a sudden Drew shows up and joins the chamber and, helps us get it to a next step. And, we've just kind of been next stepping it since then. So I will miss both of you tremendously, but there is no words that I can possibly offer or no thank you that is large enough, to recognize both of you for what you've done. So
thank you so much. Yeah. So thank you so much. And I know we'll give Drew an opportunity, maybe not during this episode, but the last episode, we'll formally say our goodbyes. But, I think the reality of the situation just hit. I feel like, with both of us, you are really ripping off the Band-Aid here. But to our membership and even those folks in the community, if you do have suggestions
Mhm.
on how you would like to see the show continue and in what form, perhaps you're enjoying the interview portion of things. Perhaps you like the questions that I ask or just the free flow of it. By all means, make that or reiterate that suggestion. But if you feel like we can do something different, make that recommendation too, because this wouldn't even exist
Right.
had I not said something.
That's
So as a
right.
member of the chamber, the fact that I recommended something and we talked it through, Eileen and her staff were kind enough to kind of bring that on board. So again, we can take this wherever you want, and I promise I'll tune in, whatever at my leisure. Maybe not at 1 o'clock sharp, but or whatever time you guys decide. But would encourage the membership to definitely speak up, and also, like you said too, it could potentially be a great opportunity for somebody who wants to host, right, and have their organization out there and wants to become a little bit more known in the community. So.
It could, and again, there could
So
be
it's an open, like you said, it's an open call.
We will be having auditions. No, I just
Yeah. Yeah, this is like The Voice, but different, right?
We'll turn our chairs around.
We should do something like that. We should do something, and we should record it.
Yes, that would be good.
Yeah.
We
No,
can
teasing.
try and figure that out before the end of the year. But again,
sounds good.
Thank you so much.
You're
we're
welcome.
not saying
Thank
goodbye
you.
yet. We've got this week and next week yet, but just wanted to put it out there before we get to that point so that our listeners are kind of forewarned on where we're going. But please put comments in the comments to Facebook for this post. Reach out to me personally, Eileen at TriCountyAreaChamber.com. If you want to provide me your comments, share anything, feedback you have, advice, what would you advise us to do moving forward? We'd love to hear from you. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Eileen. Appreciate it. Who are you signing off with? Anybody today?
I'm signing off on behalf of Victory Bank and Delicious Marketing. They get the extra shout outs today. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. You too. All right, everyone, we'll continue with today's guest. I feel like this is going to be Financial Institution Week because we have somebody on today from a credit union, and then on Wednesday we have another guest coming up from a bank. But it's all good because we're all here for the community, which I think is important. So, Drew, if you wouldn't mind bringing on our next guest, he's actually somebody that I know, somebody that I haven't connected with in quite a while. This is Richard Gray from Citadel Federal Credit Union. Rich, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Bill?
I'm good. It's been a while. I think before COVID, right? At least.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't been out much.
All right. Well, we won't spend time catching up on that because I think the community and Chamber Chat wants to hear a little bit more about you, wants to hear more about the Pottstown location, and more about Citadel Federal Credit Union. So if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself, even though I introduced you, please go ahead.
Sure, thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Richard Gray. I am the manager at Citadel Credit Union in Pottstown. I've been at this location since it opened just a little bit over 7 years ago and been with the organization for a total of over 12 years now.
That's awesome. I was going to ask how you started out. Well, I know, but the community doesn't know. How did you start out?
So I started out with Citadel back in July of 2009. I was relocating back to this area. I'm originally from Westchester and was relocating from where I went to school. And I needed a job. So my younger brother worked at Citadel at the time. And he said, Rich, this is great. You should come here. So after getting in touch with a recruiter, coming up for some interviews, I actually started in our kind of main branch. It's not really a main branch, but like that's our biggest branch in Thorndale as a teller. I did that for a year, moved over to like the platform, personal banker, senior side, whatever analogy you use as a banking institution, for about a year there. And then I moved back to Thorndale as an assistant manager and then was transferred to Pottstown in that same role when it opened in October 2014. And then in January of 2016, I took over as the manager. So if you struggle with that timeline, don't worry It's not important.
Yeah, I tell you what, it seems just like yesterday that branch opened. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know the history about Citadel, can you give just a very brief synopsis, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So Citadel has a very rich history in the Chester County area. It started in 1937 as Luke and Steele Employees Credit Union. So at the time, back in the 30s and 40s, Luke and Steele employed about 80% of that area. And then as the steel industry changed and we got a lot, as a society and an industry that could get cheaper materials overseas, the board of directors and the leadership at Citadel said, how do we continue to serve our community when they don't work at the steel mill? And through evolving and through changes in the 1980s, Citadel was granted a community charter, which means we can do business with anybody that lives, works, or worships in our charter area, which now is all of Chester, Delaware, Montgomery, Bucks, Philadelphia, and Lancaster counties.
Awesome. That's a pretty good synopsis there.
Yeah.
So I understand you're a Pottstown guy now.
I am a Pottstown guy now. I actually got a cool opportunity to buy a completely renovated house in North Coventry about a year and last June. So somehow I managed to buy a house during the pandemic. Not really sure how that happened, but it was
You
a
and
cool
a lot of other
opportunity.
people. So
Yeah, it was a cool opportunity, but worked out great for me, great for the contractor, and it was a good price point. Now my 21-mile commute's now 5 miles.
that's awesome. Well, congratulations and welcome
Thank
to
you.
the Pottstown area. You and I are both 19465ers.
We're fivers.
Yeah.
Yes.
So okay. So all right. Very
I
good. Very
learned
good.
that's a thing about a year ago at some
Yeah.
networking things where some Rotary people are like, "Oh, you moved to Pottstown?" I said, "Yeah, where?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm North Coventry." They're like, "Oh, well, you're a fiver." And I said,
Yeah.
"I don't know.
It's not real
what."
Pottstown.
Like, yeah, they're like, "Yeah, you're not real Pottstown." I said, "Well,
Yeah.
I patron the establishments in real Pottstown, so it's good enough for me."
Well, we're going to talk about your involvement in the community for a moment, but for those who don't know, can you explain the difference? And I know it's a question I used to get asked a lot. So for those that don't know, I did used to work for Citadel Federal Credit Union. It was a question that I got asked a lot when I worked there. Question I still get asked today. What is the difference between credit unions and banks?
So the biggest difference and the most basic way to explain it is a credit union is a nonprofit organization, whereas a bank is a for-profit organization. You can buy shares in a bank, you can't buy shares in a credit union. So a credit union is really owned by our membership. So with all the decisions that we make and whatever we do, the idea is to bring value back to our membership, whether that's enhanced digital service, building new branches, keeping up with facilities, payroll for employees, and also giving back to the community. That's what our goal is as a credit union, whereas a bank will have, some allegiance to, drive a shareholder's share up. And traditionally you might see different rates compared to a bank and a credit union. I mean, with the rate environment today, everything's very competitive. But traditionally, you used to see a little bit lower loan rates from a bank lower loan rates at a credit union compared to a bank, and then same thing in reverse on the deposit side.
Yeah, that's a pretty good synopsis.
Yeah.
What else? Again, you guys do a lot with the community. I know that. What are some of the things that you wanted to mention? I know we kind of spoke very briefly before we got on here, but what are some of the things that you guys do as an organization, and some things I also want to touch on that you do personally in the community as well?
So I'll start just kind of at the organizational level. Our senior leadership has really developed a really good relationship with CHOP, Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, which is a cause that we really believe strongly in, childhood cancer. It's something, that's personally important to me too, because of some of the beliefs and causes that were important to some of my family members. So through, a lot of people have probably heard of Citadel Country Spirit in the area. If you're a country music fan, I'm sure you've heard of it. So I don't have any numbers for this year, but in the past couple of years, we've donated, $50,000 to $100,000 to CHOP by doing that concert, through ticket sales, and just donations. So that's something that's important to us. Our CEO gets on stage with, a CHOP patient at each of one of those nights. So what some people might not know is that's a an event that kind of started in Pottstown. It was called Citadel Palooza the first year, and then through some connections with Chester County Tourism, they made it a bigger event, and Citadel Country Spirit's been a really great partner on that. And we do a lot to benefit CHOP. We do the Parkway Run is another thing that we do to get recognition for CHOP, and it's been a virtual event the last 2 years, so we're hoping next year we can all go down there and run a 5K on the Parkway. As Bill knows, I like to do that.
Yes, yeah, Rich is a avid runner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised we haven't seen each other in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
I'll have to catch up one off because go ahead.
I might get hit by a few cars trying to get to your house, though.
Okay, all right.
Cedarville's not safe to run on. I did that the other day. It wasn't as fun as it sounds.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. You guys also are very, I'm looking at my notes here because I want to make sure we connect with these items here. You guys are avid supporters of United Way. That was always a big deal when I was there, and I know you continue to do that. You want to speak a little bit about that too?
Yeah, that's another thing with our senior leadership, and it's one of our core values is to give back to the community. And our United Way is a partnership that's been going on for a long time, and we always strive to have a good fundraising goal with the United Way around this time every year. And it's a great way for our employees to, give back to local organizations. So you might not have a distinct connection with the United Way, but what people might not know is when you donate to the United Way, you can pick where you would like that donation to go, which is a good way that helps people connect. There's a lot of other things that we do to, really engage with that.
Mm-hmm. And then you guys also finally have the Citadel Heart of Learning Award.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the best things that I think we do, above all of those other things. It's nominations are going on right now. And in the last 2 years, we have opened that up. It used to be a Chester County award with the relationship we had from, our charter being in Chester County with the Chester County Intermediate Unit. So now that's opened up to all of our 5 counties. So I would strongly encourage to anybody that knows a teacher, appreciates their teachers in the Montgomery County, Bucks County, Philadelphia, Chester, Delaware County areas to go on our website, nominate a teacher. Because what we do, we do our best to make these teachers feel like gold for when they get presented their award at the banquet, even in a virtual setting. And our vice president, Mike Schneebly, you can tell just by the way he speaks, it's so heartfelt on our appreciation of teachers. And we've been doing this for about 20 years now. And personally, having gone to the event a couple of times, it's just so heartwarming to see how we appreciate our teachers, what they do. And a cool little side note, I think it was 2019 or 18. One of my teachers, now I graduated high school in 2000. So one of my middle school teachers was actually won an award. So when they asked me, I said, "Hey, Rich, you're going to go to the banquet?" I said, "Oh, yeah, sure." And they said, "Well, the O&J table's kind of full with guests." And I said, "Well, if you can put me at the Westchester table," I graduated from Westchester East. I actually know that teacher, and he recognized me like that. I'm not sure how. I mean, if I shave off the beard, I'm sure I look exactly the same as I did in high school. But it was such a cool experience. I mean, he's been teaching for 4 years, and I posted that on Facebook. And anybody that I know from the Westchester area and face, "Oh, I know him. Oh my God, Rich, that's so cool." So it's just amazing to see, the support that we give to our teachers. They do such a good job. They work long hours during the school year, and it's great to see how they're treated through the whole process. They get a nice little heart that's glass blown in a studio right off like Route 23, and I guess technically it's in Pottstown, but it's a fiber.
Yeah, it's a fiber. Yeah. So, well, thanks for explaining all this stuff you're involved with in the community, both Citadel and you personally. I know you're a member of Rotary as well, the Pottstown Rotary. Unfortunately, we have a few more moments left, but I do want to make sure we talk about Citadel a little bit.
Yeah.
And we talk about some of the services that you guys offer and why somebody would come to you for their banking needs.
So, yeah, absolutely. So we kind of our goal is to try and provide that, that small town banking feel with all the services that you would, want and expect from, a bigger bank. So, we really believe in making convenience a big part of the way our members can do business with us. So, and a lot of ways in this day and age, it's, connecting with us digitally. So through a mobile app, on the website, over the phone. We just introduced a new phone system that's, going to have a better feel for routing the calls to the correct representative. Can also handle, a lot of basic calls without having to get transferred for a representative. So if you just need to know your routing number, you can call up and say, hey, what's my routing number? And the virtual reality will answer that question for you. So that's something that we like to put back in. So you might think, oh, credit union, they don't have a ton of little resources. I'm probably not going to be able to deposit my check with my phone. Well, that's not true. We've been able to do that. That's been going on for years. So we're constantly looking to update those things, looking to update the website. And then when you come into one of your branches, you're going to feel like you're kind of, try and make you feel like you're a member of a family. We greet you. If you come into the Pottstown location, I've had other members tell me that, my team's on you when you walk in. They almost pounce on you. And, that's our goal is we want to greet all of our members. And, I always have members tell me Rich, how do you know so many people's names? I said, just try and learn them. And
Yep.
There's no secret to it. You just got to try and learn people. But, when I talk to people about my branch and my team here, I would say it's for people that come in regularly, at least somebody on my team that knows them by name.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the goal. That's what people want with a financial institution. They want to be able to not need you at all, but then when they need you, they want to be able to know they can get good service. They have personal people that are there to take care of them, and then that's their primary goal.
So folks, this is a great opportunity to get a chance to know another financial institution and also somebody else in the community. You have your choice of where you want to bank. And, I think knowing some of these individuals, knowing Rich, knowing me, knowing our guest on Wednesday, they're all opportunities for you to engage and find out which relationship and which financial institution would be best for you. So, Rich, thank you so much for taking the time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Yeah, it was great. It's great to see you. We'll have to get together. Tell everybody over there I said hello, please.
I definitely will.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for tuning into this episode of Chamber Chat Live. My name is Bill Vitiello. I'm the Director of Institutional Relationships and Marketing for the Victory Bank in Limerick. And until we connect again, all my best. Bye for now.